Okay, what's up guys? Thought this would be a pretty good time to get you another of those my life things. So just to rewind a little bit from where I dropped out last time, because the thing that is that you need to know is that at the end of my last video, if you haven't seen it, I will include the link in this video so you can go back and watch that one. But the thing I was talking about in the previous one, at the end of it, when we were chased out of our village there. So the thing is that it happened, that was at the end of 1995, I think it was October 95, something like that. So the war has been going on from the end of 91 until the end of 95, almost 96 in Bosnia. So it's like 4.5 years, something like that, the war lasted. So yeah, so we stayed there throughout the entire war, and we were forced out, like I told you, we were forced out of there at the end of the war. So the thing is, after we had been gathered around in that house I was telling you about, all of the men had been captured. But I will come back and I'll just go quickly throughout what happened, so you can have a little bit of an idea what happened. So the thing is that happened there at the end of the war. The thing that is that after a few days, I think it was 3 days or something, we were being held hostages in that house. The army decided, it was a lot of back and forth whether they would kill us or just get rid of us, you know, just to get us out of the country. So after a lot of discussions, they figured out that they would just get a few buses. It was like 12 buses, I think. I can't remember it entirely now. It was a lot of buses that came and picked us all up and just drove us to the border between Croatia and Bosnia. It's like a river there, so the border is the river. So we stopped on the one side of the river, which is the Bosnian border, and across the river was the Croatian border. So the thing that happened then, we stopped, all of the buses were parked along the road. So again they stormed the bus, you know. It was a lot of kids and women were in separate buses from the men. So it was like they stormed the bus where we were, us kids, and the women, our mothers. So they stormed the bus and dragged some people out by the hair and stuff. So they shot a few of them, I remember. Yeah, a few of them got shot, and there was it was a lot of arguing, yelling, and shooting outside the bus. And there was, like, I can remember there was a lot of arguing about whether they would shoot us or let us go into the Croatia. So we stood there parked for about 10 hours or something like that, and then a few more got shot. And so in the middle of the night, I think it was 2 or 3 in the morning, I guess. And then we saw a lot of lights from across the river, from the Croatian border. We saw a lot of bright lights. So and we heard some people talking from across the river that we should all get in the boats and get over the river, and we would be safe there. So yeah, we did that, and we made it into Croatia. Most of us, at least, not everybody, of course. So some got shot, and yeah. And so when we came into Croatia, it was pretty nice, you know. I had never been into Croatia before that, so it was nice, you know. It was nice seeing another country. It was peaceful in Croatia at that time. So we were transported by these trucks, some big cars. I don't know what it was. So it was dark, you know, so we didn't actually see that much. So we got get in the cars, and we'll drive you to a safe location. And thing that happened, we didn't even see. It was so dark. There was some lights when we came to that. There was like a huge building, like a huge warehouse filled with beds. You know, I don't know what the name is, bunk beds or whatever. It's like bed at the bottom and then one bed up and another one up there. So it was like a ladder up there, so 3 beds on top of each other. It was space between them, of course. So it was like everybody was in that warehouse. It was like one huge room, and it was filled with people. And we stayed there for about a month. So a lot of people started disappearing, moving into other countries, Canada, states at all, Sweden, Denmark, all around the world. And my father was actually, he was one of the most stubborn men. He still is one of the most stubborn men I've ever seen or heard of. He was like, we're not going anywhere. I don't wanna, like, it was people from UDI, I don't know what you call them, and there was like the immigration people, and they was like offering us to go to all of these different countries. And my father, he didn't want to go anywhere. He was prepared to get us back into Bosnia, and so we stayed there. We was actually our family was a part of 4 out of the last families, I think, something like that. But those families actually moved to Austria, I think it was. Yeah, and we were like the last one. So though I remember those guys, it was Americans. So we didn't talk American, but we had translations people. So they came and sat there with my. I remember that because I was there with my father, and the entire family was gathered around and listening to it. So they said like basically if we don't get on the next flight to Norway, he didn't know what would happen to us because we couldn't stay there. And the thing is, you know, there was so many people in one room. It was so crowded that people started getting more and more sick. Some died because of the sickness and the beating before and everything. People started getting all these kind of viruses and everything. You know, it was like maybe 10 bathrooms with showers for thousands of people, you know. So not everybody could shower that often, and some people were afraid to shower. I don't know, but yeah. So we were like the last family that moved from there, and we were transported to this airport in Croatia. I seriously, I don't even remember being transported to that airport. But what I do remember is us landing in Norway for the first time. It was cold. It was very cold in Norway when I came here for the first time. But man, it was so nice coming to a country that was peaceful. People were so nice, you know, people that took us in here in Norway. It was somewhere around Oslo that we came first. I can't even remember where it was. But anyways, when we came there, it was like, I think it was 11, something like that, in the evening. It was very late when we came to Norway as well. So the thing that happened, it was like I don't know how to explain it. There was a lot of houses and a lot of apartments, and it was all in one area, like, and every family got their own apartment. It wasn't big, but it was nice. It was peaceful. That's what mattered to us, you know. And like people took us in there and gave us food, and we could shower right away, and had food and drinks and stuff like that, you know. And it was so nice. I really, and I remember the next morning. It was like we woke up, and I remember staring out the window. It was snowing, you know. It was all white, and yeah, I have seen snow before. And it's regular snowing in Bosnia every winter, so it's no big issue to me. But the thing is that it was snowing. It was clean. It was white, you know. There was no war, no tanks outside your window, no armed people outside your window, nothing like that. And the entire family gathered around. But the thing is that we just came there, and everybody was just, you know, scared, I guess, from change, scared to never come back to our home countries again, to the houses we grew up in and stuff like that, you know. So I remember there was like I was like 11 years old, and it was like kindergarten stuff things. I don't know. The thing is that when we lived in Bosnia, we didn't ever go to kindergarten, nothing like that. It was like straight to school and become something and work, get married, get kids, die. That's it. So it was like a kindergarten thing, some middle school, a school for kids. I don't know, something like that. I don't know what it was. I didn't understand the language. I only spoke Bosnian, and none of them spoke it. There was a few translators there, but there was a lot of Norwegian people that tried to show us different stuff, and they tried to communicate with us, but we couldn't speak Norwegian or English, so they couldn't understand us, we couldn't understand them, and it was a lot of back and forth in that place, but it was nice there. And after a month and a half we lived there, we got moved to another place in Norway. Most of us got moved to up in north of in Norway, so that was actually nice, but it was a lot colder up there, but anyway, it still was nice up there. I remember it was like it wasn't a big place, but that was actually nice, because where we come from in Bosnia, it wasn't big there either, so it reminded us a lot about Bosnia, a lot about our where we came from. So I remember we stayed there for 5 years, yeah, something like that, a little bit over 5 years we stayed there, and I learned Norwegian and English in like 7 months, I think. I could speak both languages. I remember back in school I had always straight A's. I was good at school. It all came easy to me. But and then after living there for 5 and some years, people started moving all around the country. Some moved to Sweden. They didn't like it up there. It was too cold. It was like half of the year it was bright all the time outside. Another half of the year it was dark all the time, you know. So it was very cold and stuff like that. But and then after 5 years we moved in the middle part of Norway, and there we stayed for about a year. It was there, you know, none of us liked it there. I remember it was moved to outside the city. It was like people there are known for not liking foreigners, and it was like 3 families. I remember 3 families that are actually foreigner in that place. So they would be getting harassed all the time, and my father wouldn't take that, and I was in fights every fucking day. I was fighting everything. But at the end of that, I remember at the end of that time where we stayed there for about a year. At the end of that, I got a girlfriend, and it was nice, you know. I started to I don't know, adapt a little bit maybe, but still I didn't like it there, because of actually every time I went to school or went out with my friends after school or anything, I basically had to fight all the time, so I didn't really want that. So then we moved here, which is the southern part of Norway, and here we have been living now ever since. And it's actually it's not that bad, you know. But the thing is that this place right here, there's so much gang stuff, so much crime, just a lot of bullshit that's going on. But I will come back to that in another time. So I will, now that you know the entire thing roughly, I will try next time and go jumping back and forth, telling you guys stories from different occasions, what happened and stuff like that, tell you in a little bit more detailed, if you want to hear, if you want to see that. So give me, let's see, give me 50 ratings. It doesn't be thumbs up, it doesn't have to be thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. 50 ratings and I will get you more of these. We got a deal? I guess I'm a douchebag for asking for this, but I just wanted to see how many of you actually follow me and how many of you actually watch my videos. So there's a deal. 50 ratings and I will get you another one. I guess I hope you enjoyed this one, and take care.